What's up, Matador Nation? We're live here at Wonder Tree for the 2024 Coaches Show. Again, presented by our wonderful friends at Wonder Tree. They're our streaming partner, and we're so grateful for them. And we're here joined by the head coach, Brandon Mizuraka. Coach, glad to have you one last time on the Coaches Show this year. I had my fingers crossed it was going to happen, and we made it happen.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I mean, being able to share what's going on in the club, weekly. I mean, this has been, a highlight to my Mondays, and being able just to share this. I mean, and listening to, fans, talk about, hey, I heard this on the show. I mean, it's been very rewarding and very, enjoyable.
We want to hear from you on the comments section today on the YouTube channel. That's been another thing that's been enjoyable with this Coaches Show is as we've seen that kind of take off. But one of my goals this year, and I was telling Dustin and Thomas this, is that once I started helping the Coaches Show, I wanted you to enjoy it and to hear that it's a highlight of your Monday. That's awesome.
No, it's been great. And I tell you what, this guy, ad reads that you've done and how you tie them in, like it's phenomenal.
And that's from working with Pete Christie for 7 years. I can tell you that the cheese just kind of, there's no holes in my game. I'm not Swiss cheese. I'm like that Velveeta that you get for your mac and cheese. That's 2 pounds. It's a problem. Coach, just take us through this week, though. And of course, a great season.
Yeah. You had the match Wednesday. I thought that was from start to finish. I mean, we had talked about starting quick and being the first out the gate, and you score in the first minute, and then there was a little bit of a lull in that game. But then I think in the second half, as it was stretched, we just started to seize more opportunities and ultimately getting that one at the end. I think it was just a special night and a special way to cap off just the 24 season at home and just being able to see the enjoyment with the fans. I mean, it was something that was special.
Yeah, 50 seconds into that game, I was on my feet and didn't stop standing after that, and it was a great bookend, right? The way you started that game and then the way you finished the game with that final punch. 4,700 official fans, a little bit over that, showed up to the game, and we want to thank our fans on this Coaches Show today because without them, right, we're not here, and they showed out in that last home match.
Yeah, no, I think that, it was just unbelievable just to see the amount of, turnout and watching it grow like every single match day, like watching it just consistently push and rise and rise and rise and get louder and louder and louder. And that's something that we're really grateful for and really excited for. Going forward is just, watching that, talking to the players, it's what makes this place special is just the fan support and, just how amazing, they are with our boys. And then even away, I mean, like, again, of course it's still a little bit of a sensitive subject, right? Saturday, but, watching the fans, throughout the 90 minutes, watching them embrace our players after the game. That's what this is all about. I mean, that, and that's something that's special. I'll say fair play on this. Like, we saw them try to drown our players out or our fans out, as they were coming in. And that's every other club is going to be jealous of what we have here. And that's a simple fact. And that's, credit to the Mozos, credit to the front office here and what we've built. I mean, everyone's, just jealous and that's the reality. And, a part of that means that there's a little bit of extra that needs to go into this.
Right. Well, and that's kind of, we always say we're trying to set the standard here with the Lubbock Matadors, right? From the on-air to the fan experience to everything. And you're right. We're in a spot where we do set the standard in the Lone Star Conference, and it's really awesome. And the Mozos traveled. There was over 20 of them maybe that traveled to Midland, Odessa for the last match.
I think it was more than that.
More than that, yeah. I was trying to, I was watching it on TV, and the broadcaster brought them up at least a handful of times. And
to be quite fair, I think we had more fans there than they did. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I think that's everywhere, just with the amount of support that we have here for this club. And that's not talking bad about anybody. That's just talking about just how amazing our fan base is and our supporters group. And it has to be admired and talked about just how wonderful that is.
And you know what, going back to that home match, the 2-0 victory to end the season at home, it was fan appreciation night, and they had so many giveaways. Whataburger did such a great job that night, and it's cool that the community is also getting involved with it too, and showing appreciation to the fans, because that's how awesome they are.
Yeah, no, it just you could tell. I mean, everyone wants to come and as this thing continues to grow, like you see like you bring one friend and then another friend and then another friend, and this is still growing. Like that's the unique thing about this is how many people that we've talked to and interacted with over this period now, where like, hey, didn't know about you guys yet. Okay, well, come out to a game. You come to one, you're going to come to all of them.
Yeah.
So hearing from fans, hey, this is my first time here. I can't wait to be a season ticket holder. It's something that's special.
Absolutely. Our community is 100% special. And speaking of community, Alliance Credit Union has served the South Plains community with lower rates and fewer fees for the last 83 years, and they're just getting started. Join the mission and enjoy the benefits of owning your financial future. Alliance for people, not profit. We thank them for everything they've done this year. Coach, we're continuing to talk about the community, and we're hearing some comments from our community in the comment section. Wes saying, run it back, Coach. I know you'd love to run it back.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think there is a little bit of a sour taste in our mouths. But man, like, I just really want to talk about, what we saw in this period. May 1st, we start to bring in a brand new group. I think we had 20 something new players, and, they came in as individuals and they left as a family.
Yeah.
And you saw that, like, that run that, like, after the first 3 match days and we talk about it with, the supporters, they could have, turned off. I don't think they would have ever done that, but, they could have, and our players could have as well. And, at the end of the day, you go on that run, I think it was 5 wins, 5 out of 7
right
at the end, or 5 out of 6, at that one stretch. So, I mean, like, watching them really, talk about it. And you ask any of them, I mean, because they were living next to each other, because they did everything together.
They did.
And that's something that we were pushing for this entire time was, a group to just come together. And I think we see it. We see that now. And, hopefully those are relationships that continue to develop, right? And hopefully we see some familiar faces going forward.
Yeah, we'd love to see a lot of familiar faces going forward, because you grow attached to these guys, right?
Exactly.
I think one of the best parts about, we talk about community is at the very end of those games, the guys go up in the stands and they're with the community. And my 4-year-old son is like knows the players, a few of them by their first name, because he got to celebrate with them at the end of the game. And so, yeah, we hope a lot of them return next season.
Yep.
Clayton saying, fantastic season. Love you, Coach. Clayton's a good dude. He's one of the Mozos, and got to interact with him a lot this season. Coach, when I first met you back at the U.S. Open Cup, I think in April, talk about your journey, right, from day one until today, because I think today is technically probably one of the last days of this season, right, or maybe. Talk about your journey this year.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, it's been a whirlwind, getting, all these players in, sorted and all that. I mean, that was – the main objective. And I think, as soon as we got everyone in, it's, hey, how do we build this, this community, right? And there was a process for me. I mean, like, to be quite fair, and I've talked to some of my friends, like, this is no ordinary club, right?
It's
like, so, for me, I mean, there were some processes that I had to learn, doing like these weekly. I mean, it just means that much more here. And I think that's something that's special. And, the growth, hopefully I've grown. Hopefully these interviews have gotten better.
You're great, Coach. Yes, sir.
So, I mean, I've been just so thankful for every opportunity to be here, to be a part of this, and, continue to, help grow this club going forward.
Yeah, I remember game 1 for me, year 1, like, this is special. When did you have that moment when it clicked for you, like, wow, this is really special? Was it the day that you got the call? Because I remember you telling me that you called your family when you got offered the job, and, like, you told everybody you were so proud. And was there a moment for you, though?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, right, like, stepping into it, Open Cup watching, the community, that was amazing. But I think that it wasn't until I actually got here and was living here full time, and really probably that first win at home. I think that's where you got to see it. I think it was hinted at, especially I think that second home match where we saw the amazing turnout, and for them to stay till about midnight,
right?
To support us, I think that was special.
That was the rain delay game.
Yeah,
correct?
That was the rain delay game. So, lightning delay. I think it was
Yes.
like 5 of them.
Yeah,
No,
it
4. I
was
don't
2
know.
hours
It was
long, and
It was long.
trying to fill 2 hours
Yeah.
on the air is tough.
Yeah. So, I think just overall everything. I mean, whether it was the grand opening as well. I mean, we've seen so it's hard to just say like one specific moment because I think it's just been every single day, right? You go to the grocery store, you see proud sponsor of the Matadors.
Right on the door too,
Exactly.
which is awesome.
You go out in the the gas station and someone goes, "Hey, are you the coach?" Yeah. So just every day. I mean, it's just been kind of just watching it and seeing it, and I think for the players as well, they kind of start to understand exactly what this is.
Right. And before we start talking about next year, I do want to start talking about some of the things in the comments here. Chrissy saying, I was the ball kid that was always on the track, and I love you guys. That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's a big job because out at Lowry Field, that track leads to that huge hill. And so the ball boy job for Chrissy, that's a big job.
Yeah, it was. It was a giant job.
Yep, and they say, love you guys, says Chrissy. And then Alex, our guy punching the buttons back there, what players are you going to miss the most?
Yeah, I think it's hard to single out one or two because I just enjoyed this group so much.
Yeah.
I mean, just working with them day in, day out, watching them grow together, watching relationships form and build and compete. I mean, like this group, I mean, you go out to the training ground. I mean, it was its own little, thing that you had to deal with. But this group just no one wanted to lose, and so it was hyper competitive, and that's something that we enjoy. A lot of personalities that you get to enjoy working with, and just watching them grow together again. Like that's the part that kind of is the bummer is I think that we were just starting to hit stride. Mm-hmm. But I mean that's just is what it is. But no, I mean a lot to look forward to going forward.
Absolutely, Coach. Just what's the next steps for you guys? I kind of overheard you guys talking about, hey, we need to start recruiting for next year.
Yeah, I think that first and foremost, it's there is going to be some time that we sit down, think about it, put it in a little bit of time because you don't want to make an emotional decision, right? Like you have to make one that is clearly thought out, and I think that we've all seen it, right? Like in how do we grow this thing? How do we continue to take these next steps? Players are we had a young group as well. I mean, I think that's important to talk about. Whether it's a player like Adonis who was a freshman, he's going to go back to Salt Lake this next year, and hopefully he crushes it. Hopefully they win a national championship, and he'll be a sophomore and coming back hopefully as an older player. So players like that are just starting to hit their form, and that we're gonna hope to see them continue to develop. I mean, again, 18, 19, when you get to 21, they're going to get bigger, they're going to get faster, they're going to get stronger. Now they know what's at stake now, being a returner. And you got to see that with a Kodai, right? You got to see that with a Lovero, with a Pablo, where they understood what this means here. Mm-hmm. And so they were ready to go. Whereas for a lot of our players, they had to learn it. And then, we started to take that stride. So that's something we're excited about.
How important were those returning guys this year to help you implement the culture and the standard here?
Yeah, I think they're really, they're just essential. Yeah. I think that when you talk about, that first week, I look at a story, and I think I shared it on here before. Mm-hmm. Adam flies in, I think it was on a Saturday, and that night he's out with the Mozos, and that was, I think Will's Accord, bringing them out, or might have been actually Lovero, but just continue getting our players out in the community and being a part of this community that we've built.
It's a great community. I'll tell you that.
It's unbelievable.
The soccer community, the Mozos, the fans, you name it. It's been so much fun. Yep. Coach, what's next for you? You're about to probably go back to Eastern New Mexico and start coaching that team.
Yeah. We go back at some point this week. We'll be, we got to get the house all set up. I also need to say thank you, Jeff, for everything that you've done for me and my family, staying at their house. It's been amazing. So, Lou Dog really appreciates it, being able to run in the backyard. So, we'll be heading back to Clovis here in the next couple days, and then I'll go home for a little bit. I actually have to go to Marty's baptism. So, I'll be a proud godfather for a second time.
Nice.
So, yeah. So
I'm so glad you brought up Marty, because that was my follow-up. Like, hey, can we talk about Marty somehow on the show?
Yeah.
Because we've talked about him every show.
Exactly. So, no, it's going to be good to go back home for a little bit. I'll go home for, 5-6 days, and then, come back preseason, get through it. I'll be actually out here. We're going to play Lubbock Christian, so we'll be playing against Naco and some of the other boys here.
That's awesome.
So,
do you know the day of that, or maybe we need to be on the lookout of the Matadors schedule or the social media?
Yeah,
I bet they announced that.
Yeah, no. So that will be, I think, late October.
Okay.
Night game. So that will be really enjoyable. We're going to see a lot of these boys, and that's the fun part about this is, we're going to see a lot of them this fall, or I will, with just playing their sides. It's going to be all business. I mean, I think we've already talk to each other about it. Like, we're not gonna do the hi, how are you doing until after the game, right? Like, because it's you're still there to win a match. So but it's going to be really enjoyable to watch them develop and compete against them and all that fun stuff.
I think for the fans, right, we're going to be seeing a lot of you hopefully this summer, right? Or continuing on, because we just thought you're an hour and a half away. Right?
Exactly.
You're not far at all, and that's really I bet you enjoy that too, that you're not far away from your summer club.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is like, this community is so addictive. Like, I think that we've, again, like, I want to say from my wife and my perspective, I mean, like, we've enjoyed every single minute of this. Just, everything related to this club and this community. I mean, it's just been, unique, and this has become one of my, my homes.
That's awesome.
Outside of St. Louis, of course, but yeah, I mean, like, this is definitely, a very memorable place, and a place that we're, excited to be at.
Yeah, this is an awesome place, and it's because of the people.
Exactly.
Right? Great community here. Of course, we always tie into our great community sponsors. I always tell everybody this is my favorite summer job.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even feel like a job. I'm getting paid, to talk about a great club and a great organization. And I'm grateful to be sitting in this chair to relay it to our fans, but then at the same time to build relationships with you, Coach, and the players. And so from my seat, I want to say thank you to you guys for allowing me and John to get to know you guys. Because a lot of times, right, when you hear about media, you could shut us off, but you guys didn't, and it was awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's important to notice, and I'm sure that, we'll be talking about it in just a minute, but, like, this isn't just, a summer thing, like, no. This is year round. With them, starting, and opening up the barn, I think that, goes to speak about it as well. There's going to be a bunch of things, I'm sure, going forward to keep, soccer growing in this community. And that's the exciting thing. I mean, like, we're seeing all this, growth, and it's, seizing on that, throughout. I mean, a lot of our boys are going to be playing this fall. And so it's, I'm sure, fans are going to be wanting to watch them, supporting them. You have, amazing content that's still going to be out, I'm sure, talking and doing all that fun stuff. And I'm sure I'll be out here more than just, once.
Yeah, you'll be at the barn probably, looking to see if there's any new gear, because I know you love that place.
I do like that place a lot.
It's off of Buddy Holly, 1703 Buddy Holly.
I don't.
I'm guessing.
1709.
Thomas coming back there clutch. 1709B, Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Make sure you go check it out. It's a really cool place for our fans. And, of course, year-round things happening over there. Caleb Lester saying that game in October will be the one time he's not a part of Brandon's Army.
Okay.
I guess he's going to be rooting on LCU that night.
It's tough.
That is. Caleb, he might not come say hi to you until after the game because it's all business until after the match, right?
It is. No, I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been that way. So even like when I'm playing against or coaching against really good friends of mine, I just sometimes change.
You switch. So. You turn into game mode. It happens, right?
So I mean,
at the end of the day, you're a soccer coach, right? And you want to win.
That's how you feed your family, right? So 100%. I mean, that goes into what we've been talking about this entire year is right, you're here to kill for your family, and that's an expectation, right? It's fun, it's enjoyable, but at the same time, I mean, business is business,
right? T. Wolf, I think he's in there. He wants to know your most memorable moment this summer.
Oh, most memorable moment.
You're on the spot, dude. And he's even watching you as you're thinking about the answer.
I know. I don't know. I think the Laredo win was, really enjoyable. I think all of them were. I mean, I don't know if there was an exact day, but just watching this group continue to grow together, I think that's the most rewarding thing.
Did you have a moment, because you always talk about fighting for each other and ruthlessness,
yeah.
And was there a moment where you're like, okay, these guys are getting it. I'm seeing it now. Was it in a training session? Was it in a match?
I think it was in the matches, right? And for me, we just, it was growing and growing and growing and growing. I mean, I think that, again, you look at Laredo in that trip, I mean, going down there, 1-0 down and you come back 2-1. I mean, that's, that's all, due to the boys, sticking it out and grinding together.
Mm-hmm.
You look at, I mean, just maybe that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wes wants to know, what's the cutoff age on Matador tryouts?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We had a 33-year-old.
That is true. Yeah, we were talking about him too because he went pro.
Yeah. So, I don't know I don't think there's an age cutoff. So
send him the tape, Wes. I want to see the tape too.
Yeah.
Send it to me as well. All right, Alex, Coach, how do you coach your guys deal with a crowd as rowdy as the Mozos when you're on the opposing side? Let me ask, Coach, how do you coach your guys deal with a crowd as rowdy? Alex, I might have you come over here and ask this question because this is your question. How do they? I guess of course, there's that first time you play in front of the Mozos, right? It kind of shocks you a little bit, puts a little pressure on the home team because you don't want to lose in front of the crowd.
Exactly.
But how do the opposing teams maybe handle it?
I think that they come in, kind of, shock and awe, but I think at the same time, right, it's very easy to come in and want to be the villain, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm going to, try to shut them up.
I'm going to be the spoiler.
Yeah, and I think that, someone did the math on it, just, how successful, it is, this club is at home. And that's, just because, this amazing community that we have. And, yeah, I mean, they have some really good banter, and it's never fun when you're on the opposite side of that and you lose. But
right.
I mean, it is a special club and a special environment. I mean, it's tough. I've never really had to be on the opposite side of it, so I'm very lucky on that, to be quite fair.
Well, and on the counter side of that, right, you guys go to some venues where it's only 30, 40 fans are there, right?
Yeah.
Does that change any? That's tough as well because you got to create your own energy at that point, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's more what boys are. I mean, we'll call a spade. I mean, that's what college soccer is. It's maybe, when you're looking at 50 fans or 50 people in attendance, I mean, you're talking about the two teams and then maybe a man and his dog that are there. So, at the end of the day, just being at home, it's just an elite environment and something that is just different.
Right. Hopefully we can get Lou Dog to a game next year, huh? Maybe it could be Live Oak Animal Hospital night with Lou Dog.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think that he would probably try to bite everyone.
Oh,
no. He's not like that. Like he'd want to play and
Yeah. I can't remember what match it was, Coach, but there was a raccoon on the field and the announcers did a play-by-play of it.
Really?
Yeah, I remember watching it on
Here?
No, it wasn't here in town. It was like somewhere. I think it was somewhere else. But I remember thinking that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Hey, I do want to mention though something awesome for a locally owned hometown service. Look no further than the Matador sponsor, Grease Monkey and Monkey Splash of Lubbock. Stop by today at 107th and Slide, and they'll take care of your automotive needs. Coach, we've been on for another 30 minutes. We've been flying by, man. Coach likes these.
I do.
He likes these, and they're a lot of fun. Oh, they don't pay Alex to type is what he typed in there. So we're appreciative of that. Coach, final thoughts, though, as we wrap up the coach's show for you, as we're getting ready for our general manager.
Thank you. I mean, thank you to everyone that is made this all possible. I mean, we're so grateful and so lucky every day to be a part of this fantastic organization, this fantastic club, and excited for the future.
He's locked in, Matador Nation. They're already game planning, and they're ready to roll for next year. And I'm super excited that I'm going to be a part of it, and I'm grateful that you've allowed me to be a part of it as well.
No, always.
All right, that's going to do it for Brandon Mizuraka, Coach Miz. We're grateful for him, and we'll be back with our general manager, Dustin McCorkle, right after this on The Coach's Show, presented by Wonder Tree.
Bye, guys.
When you hear the word cancer for the first time, suddenly, every moment matters.
How do I tell my family?
Where do I go for the best treatment?
At Covenant Health, you're never alone.
Covenant's cancer team is made up of the finest oncology specialists in the region, armed with state-of-the-art technology so you can stay close to home for the most advanced treatment available.
Cancer care at Covenant Health, because when you hear the word cancer, every moment matters.
Why do we grow? We do it for family. We do it for friends. We do it for new homes. We do it for a brighter future. We grow for you. We are Alliance Credit Union, and we grow for people, not profit.
One thing I really like about working with Wonder Tree is how fun they make the process. Whether it's monthly strategy meetings or on-site video shoots, they find ways for us to laugh together, all while accomplishing our goals.
And with that, welcome back to the Coach's Show, presented by our friends at Wonder Tree. They do a great job of everything you do. Your story told. We were just talking about that during the commercial break. We also want to mention Lubbock residents. After last night's hailstorm, you might need some roofing help, and we have a great person and a great team here for you. Look no further than our trusted local roofing company, Andrus Brothers. They offer top-notch roof repairs, replacements, and installations. With their experienced team and superior craftsmanship, they got you covered. Don't wait. Call us today, 806-798-7663, for a free estimate. They took care of me whenever I needed a new roof. Of course, our general manager, Dustin McCorkle's here, and they'll take care of all of our great fans.
Yeah, I actually got some shingles on the ground from last night, so I may have to give them a call today. So
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those. I was out in Sundown with my wife's family. We were playing basketball. I remember even taking a picture of it. I was like, man, that's a beautiful storm from a distance.
Yeah, 75-mile-per-hour winds later. Not fun.
Not beautiful.
No. I do want to give a quick shout-out to Wonder Tree. We have a lot of things and a lot of goals each year that we're trying to do to grow our brand. And I think sometimes outside looking in, people think we're bigger than what we are. And a lot of that is due to this team here. So, they do a great job for us getting our message out, getting the look and feel, the creative. There's so many great, talented people up here, and I just want to say a special thank you to this group.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to bring our message to the fans without their help. And I know we have a lot of business owners and support that do a lot for us, but this team is special. And, if you're ever looking for anything to help your business, this is a great organization to at least talk to.
Yeah, they got podcasts, they got videos, you name it. You want to get your brand out there, this is the place. Wonder Tree is our great friends. Talking about great, we had a great season this year, and we want to talk about it here on the Coach's Show.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad still. I think not far removed from Saturday's game, and we're still so new in our infancy as a club, and have experienced some tremendous highs already in the first 3 years. So a little sad to be not making the playoffs, but man, 1 point away, and new coach, lots of new players, real short runway in building a team, coming out of an Open Cup season. There's just so many things that were challenges this year, but also exciting moments in our year and learning lessons for us. And yeah, it was a tremendous season.
As the general manager, you talk about the Open Cup. You had to build 2 rosters this year. How tough is that?
Incredibly. I mean, trying to get people to understand what Open Cup was in addition to this has nothing to do with our season. This is a reward for playing well the last couple of years. And, again, there's so many players that are out there for us to tap into and coaches to speak with. And there was just so many new things happening in a very short time. It was a challenge. It was a storytelling challenge, and it was also how do we continue to put a good roster together, because some of our Open Cup players have already committed to other teams for the actual season. So, yeah, it was difficult.
I love how you talked about storytelling right after we talk about Wonder Tree. That's the transition guy in me right there. As Caleb calls me out for being – there he goes with the transitions again.
Yeah, no, it's a big part of what we do is we have to market the club, right? Mm-hmm. And we're marketing to our soccer audience, but also our Lubbockites who may not be connected to soccer, that are learning the sport, or may just be casual fans. And so there's a lot of unique challenges that go into all the different messaging, because we are more than just get a ticket to a game.
Right. And clearly it's working because, we've seen attendance grow throughout the season, but we've also seen big numbers at the coaches camp with the kids, record-breaking numbers, right? And so people are starting to notice the Matadors here in the South Plains, even though we're still so young and, like you said, in our infancy after year 4.
Yeah, it's exciting, and also strange at times when you hear people say hey, I didn't even know about you guys until this summer. So there's still so many untapped people that we haven't reached yet, that their kids may be coming into our sport, and we can be a great avenue for that. And so I would just encourage, all of our fans, if you have people that are interested in what we're doing, excited, they're looking for ways to support, buying season tickets is the number one thing. We can't do this without ticket sales. My background being in the NBA and the NHL, for several years. I always learned like ticket sales are the foundation to any successful organization. And we can't go do all the other stuff. We can't show up how we want to show up if we don't have the numbers supporting us with the attendance side of things. So for us, the number one biggest thing is we got to ask everybody, like, purchase your season seats, get in early, support the club. We're revamping our membership program to where we're going to have some really cool benefits for next year. But can't say thank you enough for the amount of support we've had on the attendance.
Well, and you talk about it's an affordable season ticket with so many perks. I remember reading it on the air because we were trying to promote it throughout the course of the broadcast. It's like $120, and you get so many perks throughout the course of the season. A meet and greet with you was one of them. I remember that.
I don't know how special it is. Let's not harp on that. But
I don't know. I think it's pretty special sitting here talking with you.
No, yeah, we listen, our big goal is accessibility. Accessible from an affordability standpoint, accessible to our players and coaches, accessible to the sport. And that's been my number one favorite thing. You know, last few matches I tried, there's a million things going on, but after I get done talking to you guys, I'm sprinting up to go say thank you to people as they're leaving. And I want to hear from the fans, and getting to hear these people talk about our players in such a positive light. And, you know, yes, we want to win championships. Yes, we want to win trophies. But those are bonuses, and those are things at times that, as hard as you work on the field, you may not be able to control that part of it.
Right.
But I can control making sure that we're still showing up in all the right ways. And when you're hearing people speak positively about you, whether you win or lose, that tells the story.
And that's a great follow-through with Wes's comment here. Young team, but club acts mature. You would think they've been around for many years.
Yeah, man, that's a hope, right? Is you have a very short time with these guys, and every year we sit down with this group, and you hope to be able to bring back a core group of guys who understand the Matadors culture, the Matador fans, to be able to tell it to the new guys. But what I've learned in the 3 short seasons we've been doing this is, like, as much as you want to talk about it, until these guys experience a game day, until these guys experience going to the grocery store and having someone recognize them, you really can't explain what it means to be a Matador as on the player side. And it can be intimidating for some people. And then it can be, you know, that extra fuel on the fire for some of these guys. And, you know, these kids, these fans, you know, we hope and talk about them being the 12th man at our games, and it sure is true.
I can tell you, you guys have lit a fire in Lubbock with soccer, and because you can see it around, right, with the young youth in this area. By the way, my son scored 4 goals in this game, the first game the other day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, little Samuel Ward getting after. He had 2 own goals. We won't talk about that, but
we'll stay away from that. But yeah, no, I mean that's a dream, right? Like if you could ask me, like, hey, like, what is the ultimate dream you have for this team outside of growing pro at some point? It's to be able to say that we grew local talent that's good enough to play on our team.
As a fan myself, I kind of want. Do you have like a timetable? Like, eventually, one day, could we be a pro club?
Yeah, I think you know, I'm happy to share that I'm actually meeting with some of the USL heads at the end of July in Dallas. They've asked for a meeting and have identified Lubbock as a place that is out attendancing a lot of the teams within divisions that are higher than us in the pro rankings. And so I think there's desire to explore how potentially Lubbock could fit into that future plan. And that's going to come with the need for a stadium and a venue that facilitates us to be able to do anything that we want to do. Selling beer and stuff is part of that as well. Yeah. So we have some unique challenges in place, but I think if we could have parents, fans continue to advocate for soccer in the schools around here, growing the game, you know, my idea is to get into the youth space at some point in the near future.
That'd be awesome.
I would love for the Matadors to come in and support local soccer in ways of bringing tournaments to our city, helping develop a competitive league that would allow our parents to stay local, and maybe we get Amarillo teams and Midland teams to come to us versus all of our parents having to drive to other cities.
Right, yeah, like to FC Dallas. I remember, right, that's one of the clubs that kind of like taps into our market a little bit.
Yeah, there's a bunch of high-level Dallas based youth soccer teams that are out here in West Texas. And it's good because it does give them access, but also like a lot of that money is going to go back to Dallas.
Yeah.
And I would like for an organization like ours to find its spot within the youth space to be able to say, hey, like, yes, it's going to cost money, but the reinvestment is into the youth that's here, facilities that are here, tournaments coming into town, and all of those things. So that's going to be a hot topic going into the off season.
I'm excited to hear more about it. But I'll tell you two things. First thing, this big dream that we have here with the Matadors, it starts with you and getting your 2025 season tickets. Shout out to Wes. Wes has already bought his season tickets. And then second thing, I talk about on the broadcast is like I've done USL championship numbers. You talk about it. We'd be right in the middle like of attendance numbers. And I think that's really cool. I've talked about it many times. It goes into our game prep because we have tremendous support here from our fans.
Yeah, I don't think people understand like how big at times what we're doing is, especially for the level at which we're doing it at. There's a lot of pro teams that would kill for close to 5,000 people to show up to their games.
Right.
And we're doing it here in Lubbock, Texas, again, at a high level, but we're not considered pro yet. So I'm really excited to see just, again, we're going to take 1 year at a time, and we're still over in year 3, and we're going to continue to grow. And like I said, I'm going to do my best to keep my ears open and listen to the fans. What do they want? What do they want to see while we build out this club? And we're going to be playing soccer at the level that Lubbock can support us at. And, I still think it's odd because I see comments online like, I hope you guys are back next year. I think Lubbock is so used to like just things going away.
Right, yeah.
And I just don't want that to be the thought. Like we're committed to being here, and we want to support. Obviously, that takes financial resources to do so. And again, we hope that we put on a good enough show that people want to invest in supporting us by showing up to our games.
I think by y'all putting roots in the ground with the barn, and the team shop, like that confirms that's the stamp right there. Like the Matadors are here to stay.
Yeah. Well, we're already talking about what that event space is going to look like in addition to being a retail shop, so that people aren't waiting another 8 months before they start seeing the Matadors again.
No, I wear it to work every day. I'll be teaching class in a Matador shirt. I'll tell you that.
I love that.
Yeah, my honorary Mozo's neckerchief.
Yeah, we need more of the high schoolers.
That would be awesome.
That are hanging out during the summer and all that stuff. Like these events are a great time. It's a great precursor to whatever you want to do for the rest of your Saturday evening. So yeah, I think we're going to find some unique strategies to be able to get more into the youth space this coming year.
Addison Chrissy wants you to say hello, as well as Chrissy Rice. They keep saying we know him.
Yeah, they are some of my favorites to see at every single game. They do a great job helping out on game days. Again, seeing those girls, that's a lot of what we're about, right? Like knowing that they care about our players, care about this club. They're excited to participate in game days. Like we have so many different ways for kids to not just come to the game and sit in the stands, but feel a part of what we're doing. And so we encourage, go to the website. If you're a parent, grandparent, you're a coach, you want to find unique ways to get kids that you have access to do fun things at our games. It's all part of our group experience page.
Yeah, the Matador Experience. Reach out to the Matadors at the website, and a representative will reach out to you because that's a really cool experience. Talking about kids going to games, my kids went to the games this year, and I had to convince them that Notorious was not a bad guy. They're like, Notorious is a bad guy. I'm like, no, he's a bull, but he's a good guy.
No, he represents us. He's
a good guy.
He's a lot of fun. Yeah, my 4-year-old loves Notorious.
I can't get mine to take a picture with him.
Well, my 2-year-old, she loves him from afar.
Yeah, that's the 4-year-old for me. Flip-flop it. 2-year-old loves him close. I actually have a picture of me. He makes me go through my phone and show him the pictures of the game day.
Oh yeah.
Because the game day experiences are that awesome. And I'm growing up here in West Texas before you guys showed up, right? It was baseball for me growing up. But now I'm all in on soccer. I don't think I've watched a baseball game all year.
Yeah, people all this time ask me questions about other sports, and I'm like, dude, my focus is nowhere near that. I'm so dug into what we're doing here all the time. It's really hard for me to take a break and really pay attention to what else is going on when it comes to sports.
Well, talking about taking a break, are you going to get a break in between, or what's next for you?
Yeah, I think I am going to take some time to spend with the family. It's been with the addition of Open Cup. We started our season a few months early with trying to get everything in place for that. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break to enjoy some time with family, but not very long. A lot of the work that we do starts now.
Yeah.
To make sure that everything goes without a hitch starting in March, April next year. So we have ownership meetings, league meetings in October in New York City this year. Really excited about that. That'll be an opportunity for me to take some notes back to the entire league, speak on behalf of the Matadors of what we can do to improve as a league, as a conference, make sure we're treating each other well off the pitch, and growing the game together. We all want to compete on the field, but we need our league and our conferences to be successful. So off the field, we got to be working together.
Yeah, but come game day, it's game time, right? But, talking about the Lone Star Conference that you were right there, 5 teams right at the very end. We're so close together. And if you look across the country and other NPSL conferences, it's just 1 or 2 teams. But this conference this year was deep. And we still had a special season, even though we were just 1 point short of missing the playoffs. And it's because of how good the Lone Star was this year.
Yeah, I'm on a group chat with all the owners in the conference, and that was the number one thing that got brought up when our game finished was, man, what a competitive run at the end there. And this is very reminiscent of year one, right? Like we came out, lost our first couple of games right out the gate. I was talking to the president of the Mozos, Ryan Shelburne, and I was telling him, you take year 1 and year 3, first 2 home game matches off the table, and our winning percentage looks really good at home.
Oh, it still looks good, even despite
it does, but it's now we're at 1 loss. This team, I do think it takes a minute, which is why I continuously say, like, you really don't know what you have until the first 4 games are under your belt. But, I think it takes a minute for a lot of the new guys to get used to playing in front of these crowds.
Yeah. It's an adjustment.
It is. And, Coach did a phenomenal job this year with the runway that he had, but we had a very short off season to build in between Open Cup and regular season to get a team in place. And so for him to be able to find the talent and produce the wins that we did with such a short recruitment season, and I'm really excited to see what we're going to do with now 8 months ahead of us. And to be able to hear from some of the guys already. I've got several phone calls this morning from guys that are leaving this week and just saying thank you. But in addition, also saying like, hey, I want to come back.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That's what you want. At the end of the day, I want our fans to be excited. And I want our players to say, like, this was such a great experience. Like, I can't imagine playing for any other team but the Matadors.
That'd be, Ryan, because 100%. I couldn't even think of anything to follow up with that. For once in my life, I didn't have a transition. Actually, I do have a transition. You're talking about saying thank you. Is there a chance that the fans can say thank you to the players?
Yeah, I want to announce, we'll put it out on social, email out, but Wednesday at 5 p.m. at the barn, we're going to have the guys that are still here in town to come out and see you guys and say thank you and let y'all, whatever y'all want to do, autographs, pictures. I know we have some fans that have little kids that have looked up to these guys all summer. Some of them have built some special relationships. So whichever players are left in town and have not already left, we will have them Wednesday at 5 o'clock at the Matador Barn, 1709B Buddy Holly, for you guys to come say goodbye to.
I've been able to create some special relationships this year with the players, with Coach Mizuraka, with you and Thomas. Alex wants to know, though, for you, is there a guy that you're going to miss this year or from this group that have you've built a special bond with?
Yeah, man. It's every year. It's everyone has like a unique place with you, and I always tell the guys at the beginning, like, I don't want to go through the season and not really get to know you. Like,
oh yeah,
I want to have that's a special bond. But there's always players that are going to go above and beyond, just like there's staff members that go above and beyond to seek out those relationships. And so there's definitely a handful of guys that were back from year 1, back from year 2. that you just enjoy, and at some point they're going to outgrow being a part of this, and that's what you want, right? Like, you want these guys to grow their careers beyond our level of play, whether that be in pro sports or they've started their journey into their actual career, whatever that looks like as well. But, I think there's a couple of guys definitely, Lovero, I'm super partial to him.
Mm-hmm.
That guy cares a lot. He loves Lubbock. He's not from here, and I heard he's trying to get into Texas Tech for his master's. So,
wow.
Could be really cool that somebody who got connected to Lubbock because of the Matadors is now going to be going to get their master's done at Texas Tech. So
that is awesome, and he's involved in the community. Lovero is, and I think it was the goalkeeper from last year, Thomas. His name's leaving me now. Our Great Wall of Lubbock.
Sam
Gomez. Yeah. Come on now. Comment in there that he's a great locker room guy. He's like one of the guys that helps keep the team together, and he's just a great dude to have in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, I all those guys, those are the guys that you root for. I tell our team all the time, and when I go speak in front of college students that are looking to get into whatever career they want to do, it's not about just who you know, it's about who you know that roots for your success.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, you may have some students that come through your program that, yes, you know their name, but they haven't done above and beyond to where you're like really passionate about helping them get their next step.
Mm-hmm.
And Lover is one of those guys that he set the bar with his character, his heart, and his passion, in addition to working really hard at practice, wants to see us successful, competes every day. And again, I go back to our value system and what we look for, and that's how we're going to recruit. When I evaluate what players are allowed to come back to play for the Matadors, where I start with our coaches is always like, who's our high character guys, who's living our principles. We're going to start there, and then we're going to move into field of play. Because I truly believe that if you have the right character, that's going to take you further than just ability on the field.
Yeah, it's the stuff off the field. What you doing between match play and the person when nobody's watching. Who are you?
Yeah, and we have tons of those guys. You see the Williams of the world who, from Brazil, but has family that he considers family here, and wants to come back every year and doing all the right things for the kids. And the amount of stories that I have that we can't share from these guys finding ways to go visit kids who are going through difficult situations, but we're not going to go put those stories out, is unbelievable. And that's just a testament to, again, I think we did have mostly like our team built on high character first, and then hopefully a will to win.
I saw, it was like a couple of visits to the hospitals. They go above and beyond, our guys do.
Yeah, and there's stuff that's not out there that happens all the time that people don't know about. I mean, Pablo, we shared his story at the beginning of the season, but like he flies in from Spain and immediately goes and visits a fan who just got out of the hospital and brings her a jersey, and that had nothing to do with the club. He just,
awesome.
His own special relationship with one of our young fans, and his own keeping in touch with that family while he's not here. And what does he want to do when he lands? He wants to go visit her.
That's awesome.
So,
well, speaking of hospitals, when the game's on the line, seconds count. And when it comes to your health, every moment matters. Covenant Health is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the Lubbock Matadors this season, providing players and fans with excellent quality health care that they deserve. We're about to go over our 30-minute mark. We've reached an hour without even a player here today, Dustin. This has been crazy.
Sorry, I'm over-talking.
It's me. It's always me. I'm shocked that John has not texted me yet about it, actually. Just final thoughts on this season, though, as we're getting to wrap up our last Coach's Show of the year.
Yeah, I think if I had to use one word for this off season, I think it's momentum. We're at a weird inflection point where we're going through some things this year that we hadn't experienced as a young club yet. And, but I think that there's tremendous momentum to build into this next year. It's really exciting. I was really proud of what we were able to do, even though we didn't make the playoffs. We were right there, right at the end, and that gives me confidence that now we have a full off season with a coach that we're excited for, that is building into this part of his career and is open to hearing how we can get better. And I think he's going to go do some good things for us, and I can't wait to work with him through the offseason.
So I'm thinking that's the announcement that Coach Mizarok is back, because I know some of the Mozos were like, come back, Coach. So
yeah, we're going to sit down, actually, Coach and I tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have more of those conversations. But, I think based on what I've heard from him and what we've seen, it really would be awesome for us to carry on and, let him continue to grow in his professional development with our club. And I love having someone close enough by that.
You're a text away, and he could be here in an hour and a half.
Correct. Yeah. So we'll see. We had no official announcements yet, but really excited for what the future might hold there.
So unfinished business was the theme this year. Momentum, we're thinking going into the off season.
I'm not rolling out a marketing campaign off of that.
Oh, just because of Wonder Tree. We're here, and I had to give it a shot.
Yeah, no, that's just kind of, as I was driving over here, I was just like, you know what, like, there's things that we could, be kicking ourselves for, but, I don't have a negative emotion coming out of this. It feels like we have a lot of momentum.
Absolutely. Hey, we do want to give a shout out to Southwest Bank. They're here to help make your financial dreams a reality. Whether you're looking to buy a home, starting a business, or preparing for retirement, our experts located right here in Lubbock will help advise you every step of the way. Learn more about mortgage, loan, and wealth management services at southwestbank.com. Southwest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. I want to thank you.
Thank you, Devin. I really appreciate all you and John have done. I told the Mozos, there's not enough time to say thank you to all the different people, but if you're a partner, if you're a fan, if you're a follower, if you've purchased a piece of gear, like all of that stuff goes into mattering to what we're trying to do. So please continue to bring new people to the table, introduce them to what we feel like is fun. My hope is that one day when people talk about like what's there to do in Lubbock, one of the first things that comes to mind is like they got the Matadors. Like you got to go to a game, So until we hit that, we're going to keep continuing to do our part to grow it.
Well, within my family, that's the thing. Going to the Matadors, and I want to say, from me and John's point of view, thank you for believing in us and allowing it to do it our way. We're not traditional by any means. We're trying a different route of doing a broadcast, and I think it's sticking because people are copying us.
Well, and the Matadors, I mean, we're trendsetters, We are. And, I think that everybody's got to have that entrepreneurial brain if they want to work for this club to make it different, make it special, and make our own mark. I think that's what's cool about our level is that we don't have to do it by the book. So we're going to continue to look for new and unique ways to be our own people, and we're excited about that.
One last time, remind everybody about the meet and greet on Wednesday at 5.
Yes, please come by the barn on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. We'll all be there. I'm excited to see some people. It'd be a good way for us to embrace one more time over the 2024 season, but also talk about the future, and we got some exciting things coming up in 2025.
He's Dustin McCorkle. He's him. He's our general manager, and you are you. Thank you for watching our Coaches Show presented by our wonderful friends at Wonder Tree. It's going to be a little while before I'm back in this chair, and I'm going to miss it. This is one of my favorite things in the world. And we want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next year on the Coaches Show.
When you hear the word cancer for the first time, suddenly every moment matters.
How do I tell my family?
Where do I go for the best treatment?
At Covenant Health, you're never alone.
Covenant's cancer team is made up of the finest oncology specialists in the region, armed with state-of-the-art technology so you can stay close to home for the most advanced treatment available.
Cancer care at Covenant Health, because when you hear the word cancer, every moment matters.
Why do we grow? We do it for family. We do it for friends. We do it for new homes. We do it for a brighter future. We grow for you. We are Alliance Credit Union, and we grow for people, not profit.
One thing I really like about working with WonderTree is how fun they make the process. Whether it's monthly strategy meetings or on-site video shoots, they find ways for us to laugh together, all while accomplishing our goals. One thing I really like about working with WonderTree is how fun they make the process. Whether it's monthly strategy meetings or on-site video shoots, they find ways for us to laugh together, all while accomplishing our goals.